The alley off East 57th Street smelled like piss, rotting garbage, and something else. Burnt ozone, like the air after lightning struck too close. Logan crashed through a dumpster, adamantium skeletons screaming through his nervous system as reality folded him into a universe that didn't know him, didn't want him, and sure as hell wasn't ready for him. He hit concrete hard enough to crack it. Pain exploded through his ribs, 3 broken, healing already. His healing factor kicked in before he finished rolling to his feet, bones knitting, tissue regenerating. 10 seconds and he was whole again, claws sliding out with that familiar snikt as he scanned for threats. New York. He knew New York. But something was wrong with this one. The billboard across the street showed a blond man in an American flag cape, smile too white, eyes too blue. Non-Homelander Saves America, in letters 10 feet tall, with a Vought International logo underneath. Not Stark, not Oscorp, Vought. Logan's enhanced hearing picked up the city's heartbeat, sirens, traffic, voices. But there was something else. Everywhere, on every surface, corporate superhero branding. Posters, billboards, A-Train sneakers, Queen Maeve energy drinks, the Deep's Ocean Cleanup Foundation, which, judging by the half-assed cleanup barge visible in the harbor, was pure marketing horseshit. "The fuck?" Logan growled, retracting his claws. His flannel shirt was shredded from the dimensional transit. Blood dried on his skin, but the wounds underneath were already gone. He pulled the remains of his jacket tight and moved toward the alley's mouth, staying in shadows. Old habit from too many wars, too many labs, on too many people who wanted to cut him open and see what made him tick. A kid stumbled into the alley entrance. Maybe 19, skinny, terrified. Behind him, footsteps, heavy, confident. "Come on, man," the kid pleaded, backing away. "I didn't see anything, I swear." The figure that followed him into the alley wore a skin-tight blue suit with lightning bolts. A-Train. Logan recognized him from the billboard. Sponsored by Turbo Rush energy drink, apparently. The speedster's eyes were dilated, pupils blown wide. High on something. "You saw me," A-Train said, and his voice had that entitled edge Logan had heard 1,000 times before. People who'd never been told no, never faced consequences. "You saw me with that girl, the one who... the accident. I won't tell anyone, please." A-Train's hand shot forward, impossibly fast. Logan's enhanced perception caught it. The speedster's fingers heading for the kid's throat, ready to vibrate them through his neck, make it look like a heart attack or stroke. Murder dressed up as natural causes. Logan moved. He crossed 15 feet in a heartbeat, claws out, body between the kid and A-Train. The speedster's hand hit adamantium and stopped, momentum transferring into a shockwave that cracked windows down the alley. "What the..." A-Train started. Logan's left hand grabbed the speedster's wrist. His right hand, claws extended, pressed against A-Train's throat, not cutting, not yet, but promising. "Walk away," Logan said quietly. "Right now." A-Train stared at him, confusion and cocaine mixing into something like fear. "Do you know who I am? I'm A-Train. I'm in the 7. I'm a junkie about to kill a kid." Logan's claws drew a single drop of blood. "I don't give a damn about your brand. Walk away." For 3 seconds, they stayed frozen. Logan could hear A-Train's heart hammering, 170 beats per minute, arrhythmic, stressed. The speedster's eyes darted, calculating. Could he move faster than Logan could slash? Unknown variable, unknown soup. No Vought file, no PR strategy for this. A-Train blurred backward, 20 feet in an eye blink. "You're dead," he said, voice shaking between bravado and genuine fear. "Vought's going to find you. Homelander's going to find you. You're so fucking dead." Then he was gone, sonic boom echoing off buildings. Logan retracted his claws and turned to the kid, who'd collapsed against the alley wall, hyperventilating. "You okay, bub?" The kid stared at him, eyes wide. You just threatened A-Train. You're insane. He's going to tell Vought. They're going to..." He stopped, really looking at Logan for the first time. At the blood on his shirt that didn't match any wounds. At the holes in his knuckles already closing. "What are you?" "Passing through," Logan said. He needed information, needed to understand what kind of world manufactured heroes and slapped corporate logos on them. What's VOT? The kid laughed, high and hysterical. What's VOT? What's VOT? He pointed at the skyline, where a massive V-shaped tower dominated Midtown. VOT International. They own every superhero in America. The Seven. All the hero teams. Every soup with a contract. You don't know VOT. You don't know anything. Logan filed that away. Corporate-controlled heroes. Explained the branding. I'd explained A-Train's confidence. He'd never faced real consequences because someone paid to make his problems disappear. This A-Train, Logan said. He killed people before? Probably. The kid was calming down, shock settling into exhausted acceptance. There's rumors, accidents. But VOT buries it. They control the media, the government, everything. Soups do whatever they want and VOT makes it go away. He looked at Logan with something like hope. Are you new? Are you here to fix things? Before Logan could answer, his enhanced hearing caught it. Van approaching fast, familiar tactical patterns. Combat-trained drivers. Weapons. Not cops. Not corporate security. The van screeched to a stop at the alley entrance. Doors flew open. 4 people emerged. And Logan's instincts screamed soldiers even though only one wore anything close to a uniform. The leader was tall, dark-haired, with a British accent and eyes that had seen too much. He pointed what looked like a modified AR-15 at Logan, while his team fanned out. A nervous skinny kid, a muscular black man with careful hands, and a Frenchman who moved like he'd killed before. Well, well, the British man said. Heard there was a new soup knocking about. Didn't expect him to be picking fights with the Seven already. Logan's claws slid out. You with VOT? The British man laughed. Cold, bitter sound. Fuck no. Name's Billy Butcher. We're the boys, and we kill soups. If you want to see more characters enter different universes, you hit that subscribe button and drop the name of a character and the universe you'd want to see them in down in the comments below. Hope shines brightest in the darkest night. Logan looked at Butcher's gun, then at the team surrounding him, frightened but determined, ready to die fighting corporate-made monsters. In a world where heroes were products and murder wore a cape, someone was still fighting back. Maybe this universe wasn't completely fucked after all. Then we might have something to talk about, Logan said. Long as you point that gun somewhere else. Butcher studied him for a long moment, then lowered the weapon slightly. You just made an enemy of the Seven. A train's probably crying to Homelander right now. You got a death wish, or you just stupid? Logan's claws retracted with a snikt. Neither. I just don't like bullies. Well, Butcher said, smile spreading across his face like a knife wound. Ain't that refreshing? Get in the van, mate. We need to talk about what you are, why VOT's going to want you dead, and whether you're worth keeping alive. The kid Logan had saved was already running, disappearing into New York's crowds. Smart. Anyone near this conversation had a life expectancy measured in hours. Logan looked at the van, at Butcher's cold smile, at this universe's twisted version of heroism. He'd been in worse situations, usually right before everything went to hell. Let's talk, Logan said, and climbed into the van. Behind them, somewhere in VOT Tower, alarms were already sounding. A-Train's panicked report. An unknown soup with unregistered abilities. Homelander taking interest. The hunt had begun. The van smelled like gun oil, stale coffee, and old blood. Logan sat on the bench opposite Butcher, claws retracted but ready. The British man hadn't lowered his weapon completely. Smart. The rest of the team watched him like he was a bomb with a faulty timer. Right then, Butcher said as the van merged into traffic. First things first. You got a name, or should I just call you the mad cunt who threatened A-Train? Logan? Logan what? Just Logan. Butcher's eyes narrowed. Mysterious. How very fucking superhero of you. He gestured to his team. That's Huey, MM, and Frenchie. We're the people who clean up after VOT's superpowered sociopaths have their fun. Now, what the fuck are you? Logan could hear their heartbeats, elevated but controlled. Scared but not panicking. These weren't amateurs. Could ask you the same thing. You said you kill soups. With those pop guns? MM spoke up, voice measured and calm. We use Compound V, temporary doses. Gives us strength, durability for a few hours. Levels the playing field. Compound V, Logan repeated. The kid had mentioned it. Vought's drug that created superheroes. That what made A-Train? That's what makes all of them, Huey said. The kid looked young, nervous, but there was steel underneath. Every soup in America got their powers from Compound V. Vought developed it, injects babies with it, creates heroes they can control and market. It's all fake. Every last one of them. Logan processed that. A world where powers came from a corporation, not mutation or accident. Where heroes were manufactured products. All of them? Even Homelander? Especially Homelander, Butcher said. You're in something dark crossed his face. Personal. Vought's golden boy, strongest soup alive. Can fly, shoot lasers from his eyes, bulletproof, super strength, the whole package. Also a fucking psychopath who does whatever he wants because no one can stop him. He leaned forward. So here's my question, Logan. How'd you get your powers? Which Vought lab cooked you up? None of them. Logan extended one claw slowly, letting them see the adamantium slide out through his knuckles, the way his skin parted and healed instantly. I'm a mutant, born with a healing factor. The metal came later. People who wanted to make me a weapon. Frenchie whistled low. Bon sang. That is not Compound V, the molecular structure. It would be completely different. How different? MM interrupted, pulling out a tablet. Because if Vought sensors can detect it. They already have, Logan said. I'm not from around here. Got pulled through some kind of dimensional rift. Ended up in that alley. Your Vought doesn't have files on me because I'm not from this universe. Silence. Then Butcher laughed, harsh, disbelieving. Multiverse bollocks. Right. And I'm the Queen's favorite cunt. You don't believe in multiverses? Huey asked quietly. I believe in what I can shoot, stab, or blow up, Butcher said. Dimensional rifts are above my pay grade. He studied Logan. But let's say I'm entertaining this bullshit. You're from another world. One with mutants instead of Compound V soups. You can heal from anything, got knives in your arms, and you're old enough to have seen some shit. He smiled. Prove it. Logan sighed. He'd been through this before. Weapon X? On S.H.I.E.L.D. Too many government agencies to count. Always someone who needed proof before they'd believe what he was. He extended his right hand, claws out. Shoot me. What? Huey's voice cracked. You want proof I'm different from your V-heads? Shoot me. I'll heal. MM shook his head. Man, we're not just gonna... Butcher pulled his pistol and fired. The bullet hit Logan's shoulder, punched through muscle, shattered against adamantium bone, and exited out his back. Blood sprayed the van's interior. Huey yelped. MM swore. Frenchie dove for a medical kit. Logan didn't flinch. He pulled his claws back, looked at the entry wound, and watched as tissue knit itself together in 15 seconds. Muscle regenerating, skin closing, blood flow stopping. By the time Frenchie had the medical kit open, there was nothing left but a hole in Logan's shirt and drying blood. Merde, Frenchie whispered. Logan rolled his shoulder, good as new. Satisfied? Butcher holstered his weapon, something like respect flickering across his face. Compound V healing isn't that fast, and it doesn't work on adamantium skeletons because Vought's never fucking created one. He sat back. So, either you're telling the truth about being from another universe, or you're Vought's newest experiment and the best liar I've ever met. I'm not with Vought, Logan said flatly. Where I come from, heroes aren't corporate products. They're people trying to do the right thing. Sometimes they fail, sometimes they become what they fight, but they're not manufactured in labs and sold like action figures. Sounds lovely, Butcher said. Must be nice, y'all having real heroes. We've got our share of assholes too, Logan admitted, but at least they're honest assholes. The van pulled into an underground garage, abandoned building, off Vought's radar. As they climbed out, MM pulled Logan aside. Look, I don't know what things are like where you're from, but here, Vought controls everything. The media, the government, the justice system. The seven are celebrities with billion-dollar contracts. They can murder people on camera and Vought will bury it, pay off families, make it disappear. His voice was quiet, intense. A train's going to report you. Within an hour, every soup in New York will be looking for you. Homelander will take it personally. Unknown threat in his city. You understand what that means? Logan had fought sentinels, super soldiers, gods, and monsters. I've dealt with worse. No, MM said. You haven't. Homelander isn't like whatever heroes or villains you fought. He's a nuclear bomb with childhood trauma and no moral compass. He's killed hundreds of people. Plane crashes he could have prevented, collateral damage he doesn't care about, anyone who threatens his ego. And Vought covers for him because he's worth billions. They entered the building, the boys' headquarters. Conspiracy boards covered the walls. Photos of soups, red string, connecting crimes to cover-ups. Files on Compound V experiments. Evidence of decades of corporate-controlled atrocities. Huey was already at a computer, pulling up security footage. Found it. A-Train went straight to the tower. He's with... Oh, shit. The screen showed A-Train in a conference room, talking to three people. A severe-looking woman in a business suit. An older black man with dead eyes and expensive taste. And between them, the man from the billboard. Homelander. Even on camera, there was something wrong about him. The smile too perfect. The posture too controlled. Eyes that tracked movement like a predator's, cold and calculating beneath the American flag costume. That's Madeline Stillwell, Vought's senior vice president, Huey explained. And Stan Edgar, the CEO. They're deciding what to do about you. Logan watched Homelander's face as A-Train talked. The soup's expression didn't change, but his hands clenched. Ego. Pride. Someone had challenged him in his city, made one of his teammates run scared. He's coming for you, Butcher said, appearing beside Logan with 2 beers. He offered one. Homelander doesn't share his sandbox. Unknown soup showing up, threatening the seven. He'll see it as an insult. He'll want to know what you are, where you came from, and whether you're a threat to his position as Vought's golden boy. Logan took the beer. Let him come. You don't get it. Butcher's voice was hard. Homelander can't be killed. He's survived nuclear blasts and tests, can fly faster than fighter jets, lifts planes like they're toys. His laser vision can cut through buildings. And he's got the emotional maturity of a toddler having a tantrum. Except when toddlers get angry, they don't level city blocks. Everyone can be killed, Logan said quietly. Just need to find the right way. Butcher studied him for a long moment, then smiled. Genuine this time, vicious and eager. You really believe that, don't you? You actually think you can stand up to Homelander? Fought worse, survived worse. Logan drank. The beer was shit, but it was familiar. In my world, I've gone toe-to-toe with Sentinels programmed to hunt mutants, regenerating killers, even gods. Always found a way. Well, this ought to be fucking educational, Butcher said. He raised his bottle. To the unkillable Canuck, who might just be crazy enough to give Homelander his first real fight. Try not to die too quickly. I want to see the look on that cunt's face when someone finally stands up to him. Logan clinked bottles. Around them, the boys prepared for war. Checking weapons, reviewing files, planning contingencies for when Homelander came knocking. On the screen, Homelander stood, smiled at Stillwell and Edgar, and walked out of the conference room. The camera caught him in the hallway for just a moment, the smile dropping, replaced with something cold and furious. He knew about Logan now, and he was coming. Logan spent the next 6 hours learning exactly how fucked this universe was. MM showed him the files. Every crime, every cover-up, every innocent person turned into collateral damage for Vought's quarterly earnings. A-Train had killed a civilian named Robin in broad daylight, ran straight through her while high on Compound V. Vought paid the boyfriend hush money. The deep sexually assaulted women who auditioned for the Seven. Vought moved him to a secondary market. Translucent, dead now, Butcher explained with satisfaction, used to spy on people in bathrooms. Vought called it security work. Homelander's the worst, MM said, pulling up a classified file. Flight 37. Terrorist attack. Plane going down. He and Maeve responded, but Homelander fried the controls with his heat vision trying to stop the hijackers. Plane was doomed. He could have saved people, made multiple trips, carried them to safety. Instead, he told Maeve they'd look bad if they failed, and they flew away. Let 139 people die screaming. Logan's claws slid out involuntarily. He just left them? Vought buried the black box recording, blamed the terrorists, made Homelander a hero for trying. He did interviews about the tragedy while people's families grieved. MM's voice was flat, controlled fury underneath. That's who's coming for you, Logan. Not a hero, a corporate asset wearing a cape. Huey brought coffee. Real coffee, not the sludge from earlier. The kid had a nervous energy. He kept glancing at Logan like he was waiting for disappointment. You said you're from a world with real heroes, Huey said quietly. What's that like? Logan thought about the X-Men, about Charles Xavier's dream of humans and mutants coexisting, about Scott's rigid morality, Jean's compassion, Storm's wisdom, about how many times they'd failed, how many times they'd picked themselves back up and tried again. Complicated, Logan said. Heroes in my world aren't saints. They fuck up. They make bad calls. Sometimes they go dark. He thought about Jean as Phoenix, about Scott after her death, about himself during his worst moments. But they try. They believe in something bigger than profit margins and brand management. When they save people, it's not for cameras or contracts. Must be nice, Huey said. Oh, there was longing in his voice, for a world where heroes were real, where Robin might still be alive. Frenchie interrupted, laptop open. Mes amis, we have a problem. Vaught's emergency alert system just activated. They are calling in heroes from other cities. Stormfront from Portland, Black Noir from Boston. Black Noir? Logan interrupted. Silent soup, weapons expert, brutal efficiency. He's Vaught's cleanup man, handles problems that need to disappear permanently. Butcher appeared in the doorway, tactical vest on, weapons loaded. They're assembling a task force. Not just to meet you, to put you down hard. Logan stood. How long? Hour, maybe 2. They'll sweep the city, find this location eventually. Vaught's got surveillance everywhere, facial recognition, the works. Butcher checked his rifle. We've got a safe house in Brooklyn, on off the grid. We bug out, lay low, plan our next. No, Logan said. Everyone stopped. No? Butcher's voice was dangerous. No, what? I don't run, Logan's claws extended. They want to find me? Make it easy. I'll meet them head on. That's suicide, MM said. Logan, I know you can heal, but you're talking about fighting multiple soups, including possibly Homelander. Even you have limits. Maybe. Logan had tested his limits before. Weapon X, the adamantium bonding process that should have killed him. Battles that left him regenerating for days. But I'm not hiding while corporate sociopaths hunt innocent people looking for me. That kid in the alley, A-Train, saw my face. He knows I talk to witnesses. How long before Vought tracks them down, ties up loose ends? Silence. They knew he was right. Besides, Logan continued, Ma, you said Homelander's untouchable because no one can stand up to him. Maybe it's time someone did. Butcher laughed, low and appreciative. You're fucking mental. I love it. He turned to his team. Right, new plan. We don't bug out, we set a trap. Choose the battlefield, control the variables, make these Vought cunts come to us on our terms. You're actually considering this? Huey looked between them. Butcher, this is insane. We use hit-and-run tactics, expose their crimes, stay in the shadows. We don't go toe-to-toe with the 7. We've never had someone like Logan before, Butcher said. He looked at the Canadian with something like hope. Vicious, desperate hope. Someone Vought didn't make. Someone they can't control. Someone who can take punishment and dish it back. He smiled. No, someone who might actually make Homelander bleed. The door buzzer sounded. 3 short bursts. Everyone froze. Frenchie checked the security camera, then relaxed. It is her. Her? Logan asked. The door opened. A woman entered, Red hair, costume similar to Wonder Woman from Logan's world but cheaper, more sexualized. She moved like a fighter despite the heels and her eyes were tired, haunted. Queen Maeve, one of the seven. Logan's claws extended instantly. Butcher's gun came up. MM and Frenchie flanked her. Maeve raised her hand slowly. I'm not here to fight. I need to talk to him. She looked directly at Logan. To you. Talk fast, Butcher said, finger on the trigger. Before I remember, you're part of the problem. I know what you think of me, Maeve said. Her voice was rough, whiskey-worn. You're right to hate me. I've stood by while Homelander murdered people. I've smiled for cameras while Vought covered up atrocities. I'm a coward who sold out every ideal I ever had. She focused on Logan. But I heard A-Train's report. Someone who stood up to him. Someone with powers Vought didn't give them. Someone who isn't owned. What do you want? Logan didn't retract his claws. To warn you. Maeve's facade cracked slightly. Homelander's not just coming for you, he's excited. I've known him for years and I've never seen him like this. He thinks you're a threat to his supremacy. He's going to make an example of you. Prove he's still the strongest, most important soup in the world. Let him try. You don't understand, Maeve's voice dropped. Homelander doesn't have limits. Not moral ones, not physical ones. When he fights, he doesn't hold back because there's no one who can make him. He's leveled buildings chasing someone who insulted him. He's killed people for looking at him wrong, and Vought covers it all up because he's worth more to them than human lives. Logan studied her. Broken hero. Someone who'd had ideals once, before Vought crushed them. He'd seen it before. People ground down by systems too big to fight. Why tell me this? He asked. Why not just let Homelander handle it? Maeve's eyes met his, and for a moment, he saw past the corporate mascot to the person underneath. Desperate, drowning, looking for a lifeline. Because I want to see him lose, she whispered. Just once. I want to see someone stand up to him and not back down. I want to remember what it looked like when heroes were real. She stepped closer, voice urgent. You're not from here. You don't know what it's like, spending every day pretending to be something you're not, watching atrocities happen and smiling for the cameras. You're everything I used to want to be. Everything Vought destroyed. Logan retracted his claws slowly. He understood her now. She wasn't here to fight, she was here to witness, to see if real heroism could exist in this universe, even for a moment. Flight 37, Logan said quietly. MM told me about it. You were there. Maeve flinched like he'd struck her. I could have saved them, made trips, carried people off. But Homelander said we'd look weak if we failed, and I listened. I left them to die. Tears threatened, but she held them back. Every day since, I hear them screaming. And every day, I put on this costume and smile for people who think I'm a hero. You could stop, Logan said. Walk away, expose Vought. They'd kill me, or worse, they'd make me disappear, discredit me, destroy everyone I ever cared about. Maeve shook her head. I'm too deep, too compromised. But you? You're not theirs yet. You can still fight back. Butcher lowered his gun slightly. Why should we trust you? You're one of them. You shouldn't, Maeve said simply. I've done terrible things. I've let terrible things happen. I'm not asking for forgiveness. I'm asking you to survive. Homelander's coming, and when he finds you... She looked at Logan. I've seen him kill. It's not quick. It's not merciful. He enjoys it. Good, Logan said. Then he'll take his time. Give me openings. Maeve stared at him, something like awe crossing her face. You really think you can beat him? I think I can make him bleed, Logan corrected. And sometimes that's enough. Show people the invincible golden boy isn't so invincible after all. Outside, sirens wailed. Vought security vehicles, moving through the city in search patterns. They were running out of time. Maeve moved toward the door, then stopped. There's something else. Black Noir. He's not like the others. He doesn't talk, doesn't hesitate, doesn't stop. If they send him after you, run. He's the only one of us who's actually good at killing. Then she was gone, slipping back into the night. Butcher watched her go, then turned to Logan. Well, that was fucking ominous. She's scared, Huey said. Did you see her? She's terrified of Homelander. Everyone's terrified of Homelander, MM said. That's how he maintains control. Our fear and violence, wrapped in an American flag. Logan walked to the window, looking out at the city. Somewhere out there, Homelander was coming. The strongest soup in this universe. A corporate-made god with no morality and infinite ego. In Logan's world, he'd fought Magneto, master of magnetism who could control his adamantium skeleton. He'd fought Sabretooth dozens of times, a mirror image of himself without humanity. He'd fought Sentinels designed specifically to kill mutants like him. He'd survived them all. Set your trap, Logan said to Butcher, but make it good. When Homelander shows up, I want him to remember this fight for the rest of his life. If he doesn't kill you first, Butcher said. Logan's claws extended, adamantium gleaming in the dim light. He can try, but I've been killed before, bub. Word never seems to stick. The hunt was on. And for the first time in years, Homelander was about to discover what it felt like to be prey. Vought Tower, 72 hours earlier, Homelander would have called it his kingdom. Now it felt like a cage. He stood in his penthouse suite, looking down at New York through floor-to-ceiling windows, and tried to ignore the itch under his skin. Someone had threatened A-Train in his city. Someone unregistered, unknown, with abilities that didn't match any Compound V profile in Vought's database. Homelander's reflection stared back from the glass. Perfect hair, perfect costume, perfect smile. America's hero, the world's strongest man. Except some Canadian nobody with knives in his arms had made one of the 7 run scared. His heat vision flickered, almost activating. The windows would melt. 30 floors down, people would die when glass rained onto the street. Vought would cover it up. Blame terrorists or structural failure. They always did. He took a breath, one of Madeline's calming techniques, and pushed the rage down. Not yet. Not until he understood what he was dealing with. The door opened without knocking. Only 2 people in Vought did that, Madeline Stillwell and Stan Edgar. It was Edgar, impeccable suit, dead eyes that had seen Homelander's tantrums too many times to be impressed. We need to discuss the Logan situation, Edgar said, sitting without invitation. There is no situation. Homelander's voice was controlled, almost pleasant. There's a new soupy who needs to understand the hierarchy. I'll handle it. Will you? Edgar pulled out a tablet, showing surveillance footage. The alley. Logan's claws. On A-Train's retreat. This individual demonstrates abilities inconsistent with any Compound V variant we've developed. His healing factor operates at speeds we've never achieved. The adamantium skeleton is technologically impossible with our current capabilities. So what? Homelander said. He's strong. I'm stronger. Perhaps. Edgar's tone suggested he doubted that. But he's also uncontrolled, unknown. That makes him dangerous, not to you necessarily, but to Vought's market position. If the public learns there are soups we didn't create, didn't manufacture, it raises questions about our monopoly. Homelander's jaw clenched. Always the bottom line with Edgar. Never about heroism or justice, just profits and control. I want him brought in, Edgar continued. Alive, preferably. Our scientists need to study him, or understand how his powers work. If we can replicate that healing factor without Compound V, the military contracts alone would be worth billions. And if I just kill him instead? Homelander asked pleasantly. Edgar met his eyes, one of the few men who could. Then you'll have wasted a valuable asset, and I'll be disappointed. You don't want me disappointed, do you? The threat was subtle, but real. Edgar controlled Vought. Edgar controlled the narrative around Homelander. Edgar could, theoretically, make America's hero into America's villain with the right media campaign. Homelander smiled, all teeth. I'll bring him in, alive. See that you do. Edgar stood. Black Noir is standing by as backup. If the situation escalates beyond your control, it won't. Edgar left without another word. The door clicked shut. Homelander stood alone in his penthouse, fists clenched, heat vision threatening to erupt. Beyond his control, like he needed backup, like he couldn't handle one soup with kitchen knives for hands. He activated his comm. A-Train, my penthouse, now. 30 seconds later, the speedster arrived, still jittery from whatever drugs he was on. Homelander could hear his heartbeat. Irregular, stressed, afraid. Good. Tell me about Logan, Homelander said quietly. Everything. A-Train swallowed. He came out of nowhere. I was handling a situation with a witness, and this guy just appeared. Moved faster than I could react. His claws, they're real, not some tech, went right through my suit. And he healed. I saw bullet wounds close up like they were never there. What did he say? Called me a junkie. Said he didn't care about my brand. And told me to walk away. A-Train's voice got quieter. I've never seen someone look at me like that. Like I was nothing. Like the 7 meant nothing. Homelander's heat vision flickered again. Someone had looked at his team, his subordinates, his city, and found them wanting. Where is he now? Disappeared. Vought's surveillance picked him up getting into a van with the boys. Butcher's crew. That complicated things. Butcher was a cockroach, impossible to kill permanently, always crawling back. If he'd gotten his hands on Logan, convinced him that Vought was the enemy. Find them, Homelander said. Use every camera, every facial recognition system, every informant. I want to know where Butcher's hiding. On it. A-Train blurred toward the door, then stopped. Homelander? This guy, he didn't seem scared, at all. Like he's faced worse than us. There is no worse than us, Homelander said flatly. Dismissed. Alone again. Homelander pulled out his phone, scrolled to Madeline's contact, then stopped. She'd tell him to be careful, to think about optics, to remember his image. Fuck his image. He flew instead, out the window, into the night sky over the city that was supposed to worship him. Below, people pointed, cheered, took photos. He was their hero, their protector. And somewhere down there, Logan was making him look weak. The abandoned warehouse in Queens had been Butcher's idea. Industrial district, minimal civilian presence, enough space for a fight without leveling residential blocks. They'd spent 4 hours setting up. Thermite charges here, MM indicated, pointing to support pillars. Homelander can fly. But if we bring the building down on him, at least it'll slow him down. Assuming thermite can hurt him, Huey said nervously. It can't, Butcher admitted. But it'll piss him off, make him sloppy. Angry Homelander makes mistakes. Logan examined the space. High ceiling, multiple exits, reinforced concrete. You're sure he'll come alone? His ego won't let him bring backup, Butcher said. He needs to prove he's top dog. But Black Noir's probably lurking somewhere, waiting to see if Homelander needs help. Then we handle them separately. Logan's tactical mind was already working. In the X-Mansion's danger room, he'd trained against multiple opponents with diverse powers. Adapt, survive, win. Homelander first. If Noir shows up, you keep him busy. With what? Huey asked. Hope and prayer? Frenchie held up a case. Explosives. Military grade. And this? He opened it, revealing a modified rifle. Vought prototype. Fires rounds designed to penetrate soup skin. We stole it from a black site. Will it work on Homelander? Logan asked. Nah, Frenchie admitted, but it might annoy him. Logan almost smiled. He'd fought with worse odds. Maeve returned. She'd left and come back 3 times in the last hour, like she couldn't decide if she wanted to witness this or run. Now she carried a duffel bag. Compound V samples, she said, dropping it at Butcher's feet. Pure doses, not the temp shit you've been using. This is permanent enhancement, strength, durability, healing. 1 injection each. Butcher stared at the bag like it was a snake. You're offering us the same poison that created these monsters? I'm offering you a chance to survive. Maeve's voice was hard. Maya, without V, you're civilians playing soldier. With it, you might last 10 seconds against Homelander instead of 5. We don't need it, Logan said. He'd spent his life being experimented on, turned into weapons. These people didn't need that burden. I can handle Homelander. You're one man, Maeve said. And I know what he is. Logan's claws extended. Corporate-made god with childhood trauma and no limits. You've all told me. Doesn't change the plan. MM pulled Butcher aside. They argued in harsh whispers. MM wanted to use the compound V. Butcher refused to become what he hated. Huey watched them, caught between fear and desperate hope. Logan approached Maeve. You didn't answer my question earlier. Why are you really here? She looked at him. Really looked. Past the violence and the claws to whatever she saw underneath. Yeah, because I used to believe in heroes. Real ones. Before Vought turned me into a product, before I learned that justice was just marketing and saving people was a photo op. Her voice cracked. You remind me of who I wanted to be. And when Homelander kills you, I want to remember that someone tried. That someone stood up to him, even if it was suicide. I don't plan on dying, Logan said. Neither did the last person who challenged him, Maeve said quietly. Vought made them disappear. No body, no grave. Just gone, like they never existed. Before Logan could respond, Frenchie's laptop beeped. Merda. Facial recognition hit. Homelander just left Vought Tower. He is heading this way. Everyone moved. MM and Frenchie to firing positions. Huey to the detonator controls. Butcher checking his weapons one last time. Maeve grabbed Logan's arm. Cease last chance to run. There's a safe house in Canada. Ironic, I know. You could disappear. Let this universe solve its own problems. Logan had spent decades running. From Weapon X, from his past, from the animal they'd tried to make him. He was done running. Go, he told her. You don't want to be here when this starts. Homelander finds you helping us. Vought will destroy you. They already did, Maeve said. I'm just waiting for someone to notice. But she moved toward the exit anyway, stopping in the doorway. When he comes, aim for his eyes. It's the only place he might be vulnerable. Ego won't let him close them, even to protect them. Then she was gone. Butcher appeared beside Logan. You know this is fucking insane, right? Everything we know about Homelander says he's unkillable, unstoppable, a nuclear weapon in human skin. Everything Weapon X knew about me said I was unkillable too, Logan said. Didn't stop them from trying. Didn't stop me from proving them wrong about what I'd become. And what's that? Logan's claws gleamed. Someone who doesn't stay down. The warehouse fell silent. Waiting. In the distance, sirens. Vought security probably, setting up a perimeter. Making sure civilians stayed clear. Then, a sound. Faint at first, growing louder. Not an engine, not wind. Flight. The roof exploded inward. Concrete and steel rained down as Homelander descended through the hole, landing in the center of the warehouse with perfect precision. Cape settling around his shoulders. Smile perfect. Eyes scanning the space like a predator identifying prey. When he spoke, his voice carried across the warehouse. Friendly, and almost warm. The voice of America's hero. Hi there, I'm Homelander, and you must be Logan. The smile widened. We need to talk about you threatening my team. Logan's claws extended. Not much to talk about. Your boy was about to kill a kid. I stopped him. See, that's where we have a problem. Homelander's eyes began to glow red. The Seven maintain order in this city. We decide who lives and who dies. Not you, not Butcher and his terrorists. Us. That's not heroism, Logan said. That's tyranny. Homelander's heat vision fired without warning. Twin beams of superheated energy that would have vaporized a normal person. Logan dove left, adamantium claws raking concrete as the beams cut through support pillars like paper. The fight had begun. And somewhere in the shadows, Black Noir watched, waiting for his moment to strike. Or Logan hit the ground rolling as Homelander's heat vision carved through the space he'd occupied a heartbeat before. Molten concrete splashed across the floor, superheated air scorching his skin. His healing factor repaired the burns instantly, but the message was clear. One direct hit from those beams would cook him from the inside out, faster than even he could regenerate. Come on, Homelander laughed, floating 10 feet off the ground. I thought you were supposed to be tough, the big bad mutant who scared A-Train. He fired again, sweeping the beams across the warehouse floor. Logan moved. Pure animal instinct, decades of combat experience. He wasn't faster than the beams, but he could read Homelander's eyes, see where they'd track. He zigzagged, using debris for cover, closing distance. Butcher's voice crackled over the comm in Logan's ear. "Charge is ready. Say when." "Not yet," Logan growled. He needed Homelander grounded, needed him close enough to hurt. Homelander landed, smile never faltering. "You're quick. I'll give you that. But this is getting boring." He blurred forward, not speedster fast like A-Train, but fast enough. His fist caught Logan in the ribs. The impact shattered bone. Logan flew backward, crashed through a concrete wall, tasted blood. His healing factor kicked in immediately, ribs knitting, internal bleeding stopping. He was back on his feet in 3 seconds. Homelander walked through the hole he'd created, genuinely surprised. "You're still standing. Interesting." He cocked his head. "Most people stay down when I hit them. Well, I'm the ones who don't usually can't breathe because their lungs are paste." Logan spat blood. "I'm not most people." "No," Homelander agreed. "You're something new. Something Vought didn't make." His eyes narrowed. "That bothers me. See, I'm supposed to be unique, special, the strongest there is. And then you show up with your healing factor and your metal claws and your complete disregard for the natural order of things." "Natural order?" Logan's claws extended. "You were made in a lab, injected with chemicals as a baby. You're not special. You're a product, and products break." Homelander's smile disappeared. He moved faster this time, genuine speed, genuine fury. His hand wrapped around Logan's throat, lifted him off the ground. The pressure was immense. Adamantium skeleton kept his neck from snapping, but his windpipe was collapsing. I am not a product," Homelander said quietly. His eyes glowed red, heat building. "I am a god, and you're just a science experiment that forgot its place." Logan drove both claws into Homelander's chest. Or tried to. The adamantium claws hit Homelander's skin and stopped. Not slowed, stopped completely, like hitting solid steel. Physics should have made it possible. Adamantium could cut through anything. But Homelander's compound, Phi-enhanced cellular structure, was denser than anything Logan had encountered. The claws didn't penetrate. They didn't even scratch. Homelander looked down at Logan's claws pressing against his costume, then back up at Logan's face. His smile returned, cruel, delighted. "Oh, this is perfect," he said. "You actually thought you could hurt me." He laughed. "I've been nuked, Logan. They tested me with nuclear weapons to see if I'd survive. I flew through the fireball and asked for another. Your kitchen knives don't scare me." He threw Logan across the warehouse. The impact with the far wall should have killed a normal person. Logan's skeleton held, but the whiplash scrambled his brain, organs rupturing from deceleration trauma. He slumped to the ground, healing, but slower now. The damage was adding up. "Now," Butcher's voice. The thermite charges detonated. Support pillars turned white-hot, melting, collapsing. The warehouse roof came down, tons of concrete and steel falling directly on Homelander. The debris hit him, buried him. For 3 seconds, silence. Then, the pile exploded outward. Homelander emerged, costume dusty but undamaged, not even breathing hard. "Really? That's your plan? Also, I've held up collapsing buildings, Butcher. I've caught planes. You think thermite impresses me?" Frenchie fired the prototype rifle, armor-piercing rounds designed to penetrate Soup's skin. The bullets hit Homelander's chest and flattened against him like hitting a tank. He didn't even flinch. "Oh, you're here too," Homelander said, tracking Frenchie's position with casual precision. "The terrorist support team. Cute." His heat vision fired. Frenchie dove, but not fast enough. The beam caught his shoulder, burned through cloth and flesh. Frenchie screamed. Logan forced himself upright. His healing factor had repaired the worst damage. Brain function restored, organs regenerated, bones set. But Homelander was right. His claws couldn't cut the bastard. Standard tactics wouldn't work. He needed to adapt. ORM-M opened fire from another position, suppressive fire, trying to draw Homelander's attention. Huey triggered smoke grenades, filling the warehouse with thick gray clouds. Homelander's eyes glowed. heat vision burning through the smoke. I can see through walls. You think smoke stops me? He fired at MM's position. MM rolled, barely avoiding the beam that melted his cover to slag. Logan moved through the smoke, silent, letting his enhanced senses guide him. Homelander's heartbeat, slow, calm, supremely confident. His breathing, controlled, almost meditative. No fear, no concern. Fighting him directly was suicide. But Logan had fought unbeatable enemies before. The key was finding the weakness, exploiting it. Maeve's words echoed. Aim for his eyes. Logan grabbed a piece of rebar from the rubble, adamantium claws gripping the steel. He moved to Homelander's blind spot, 6 o'clock, low. The smoke helped, but Homelander's X-ray vision would cut through it eventually. Homelander turned, scanning. Where are you, Logan? Don't tell me you're hiding. That's disappointing. I thought you were a fighter. Logan exploded from the smoke, driving the rebar toward Homelander's left eye with all his enhanced strength. Homelander's hand came up, reflexive, fast. He caught the rebar inches from his face, snapped it like balsa wood. But for half a second his eyes had widened. Surprise. Instinctive protection. Vulnerability confirmed. There you are, Homelander said. He backhanded Logan, sending him tumbling. Nice try. Going for the eyes. Classic. Maeve tell you that? She's always been sentimental. Logan crashed into debris, bones breaking, healing. He needed a new strategy. Or Homelander was faster, stronger, invulnerable. Direct combat was a losing proposition, but Logan had something Homelander didn't. Experience fighting smarter, not just harder. Butcher's voice in his ear, urgent. Black Noir's moving in. South entrance. Get clear. Logan's enhanced hearing picked it up. Footsteps, precise and silent. Another soup entering the battlefield. He caught a glimpse. Black armor, knives, moving with lethal grace. Homelander noticed too. Noir, took you long enough. I told Edgar I didn't need backup, but I suppose it's good to have witnesses when I tear this mutant apart. Black Noir didn't respond, just drew twin daggers and moved toward the boys' positions. Professional, efficient, a killer, not a performer. Fuck this, Butcher snarled over comms. Fall back! Everyone, fall back pattern gamma! MM grabbed Frenchie, I half carrying him toward the secondary exit. Huey triggered more smoke grenades, covering their retreat. They'd planned for this, multiple escape routes, staggered withdrawal. But Logan wasn't running. He stood, claws out, facing both Homelander and Black Noir. His body was a roadmap of healing injuries. Bones that had broken and reset, burns that had scarred and smoothed, trauma his healing factor was working overtime to repair. Your friends are smart, Homelander said, landing in front of Logan. They know when they're beaten. Why don't you? Because I've been beaten before, Logan said. His voice was rough, blood in his throat healing even as he spoke. By Weapon X, by Sentinels, by enemies who thought they'd broken me permanently. I always get back up. Not this time. Homelander's eyes glowed bright red. This time, I'm going to keep hitting you until there's nothing left to heal. Then, I'm going to deliver what's left to VOTS Labs so they can figure out what makes you tick. You wanted to be a hero? Congratulations. You'll save millions by helping us perfect the healing factor for mass production. His heat vision fired. Full intensity. Both beams focused on Logan's center mass. Logan dove, but not fast enough. The beams caught his left arm, superheating the adamantium skeleton inside. The metal didn't melt. Its bonding point was too high, but his flesh cooked instantly, charred black, smoking. The pain was incredible. Logan had felt pain before, the adamantium bonding process, having his healing factor burned out by a nuclear bomb in Japan, battles that left him a broken mess. This was different. This was targeted, surgical destruction. His healing factor kicked in, trying to regenerate the tissue. But the adamantium held the heat, cooking him from the inside. It was like the bonding process all over again, metal and flesh at war. Homelander walked closer, heat vision still active, slowly tracking up Logan's arm toward his shoulder, his neck, his head. I could do this for hours. Just keep burning you, Let you heal, burn you again. Would you like that? Should I make this last? Logan's vision was graying. The pain was shutting down his higher brain functions, reducing him to animal instinct. The berserker rage was building. The part of him that was pure violence, pure survival, unleashed when there were no other options. He'd fought to keep that part caged for years, afraid of what he'd become if he let it loose. But Homelander was forcing his hand. Logan looked up at America's hero. Perfect smile, perfect costume, perfect monster wearing a flag. This universe's god. Its symbol. The thing everyone feared and no one could stop. And Logan thought, fuck that. He let the animal out. The berserker rage took over. Logan's tactical mind disappeared, replaced by pure predatory instinct. He didn't feel pain anymore. Didn't feel fear. Just hunger. To rend, to tear, to make the threat stop. He lunged, claws leading. Homelander blasted him again. Logan's chest burned, ribs exposed through charred flesh. He kept coming. Homelander looked surprised for the first time. What the? Logan's claws raked across Homelander's face. They still didn't penetrate, but the force, all of Logan's enhanced strength, all his adamantium-backed mass, all his berserker fury, actually moved Homelander's head. Just an inch. Just enough. Homelander's heat vision cut off. His hand went to his face, checking for damage that wasn't there, but the surprise was real. Someone had made him move. Someone had touched him without permission. You little... Homelander started. Logan drove both claws into Homelander's right eye socket. Not into the eye itself. The outer structure was as invulnerable as the rest of him. But the socket, the bone around it, where flesh met invulnerable skin. Logan's claws found the microscopic gap, the place where even Compound 5 enhancement had limits. He twisted, leveraged, put 200 pounds of berserker fury and adamantium against the weakest point on Homelander's body. Blood. Not much, just a trickle, where flesh tore microscopically. But it was there. Red. Human. Vulnerable. Homelander screamed. Not from pain, but from shock, from the impossible reality that he was bleeding, that someone had made him bleed. He grabbed Logan, threw him with genuine fury. Logan hit the wall, crashed through it, kept going, crashed through another wall into the street beyond. His body was broken. Spine shattered, organs ruptured, one lung collapsed. But he'd done it. He'd made a god bleed. Logan's healing factor worked overtime, reconstructing his shattered body on a Queen Street while car alarms screamed and civilians ran. His spine reconnected vertebra by vertebra, spinal cord regenerating, nerves firing back to life. 30 seconds of agony, then he could move again. He rolled to his feet, swaying. Inside the warehouse, he could hear Homelander, not talking anymore, not posturing, just rage, pure, unfiltered fury. The wall exploded outward. Homelander emerged. And his face was different now. The smile was gone. The performative heroism had evaporated. His right eye was bloodshot, capillaries burst from the trauma, a thin line of blood trailing from the corner down his cheek. He touched it, looked at his fingers, saw his own blood for what might have been the first time in his adult life. You made me bleed, he said quietly. You actually made me bleed. Logan's claws extended. His body was still healing, ribs finishing their knit, burns fading to pink skin. But he was functional. He could fight. Good, Logan growled. Now you know what everyone else feels. Homelander's eyes blazed red, not the controlled heat vision from before, but wild, uncontrolled power. I'm going to kill you, not capture you, not study you, kill you. I'm going to burn you down to ash, then burn the ash. Then burn the ground where you stood until there's nothing left but glass. He flew forward, heat vision firing. Logan dodged behind a parked car. Homelander's beams cut through it like tissue paper, ignited the gas tank. The explosion threw Logan 20 feet, clothes on fire, skin blistering. Civilians were screaming, running. This wasn't the controlled environment of the warehouse anymore. This was a populated street in Queens, and Homelander didn't care. His mask had slipped. The hero was gone. Only the monster remained. Logan's healing factor extinguished the flames, regenerated the burns. He needed to draw Homelander away from civilians. Needed to... Black Noir appeared from the shadows, twin daggers leading. Logan's instincts screamed warning. He twisted, but Noir was professional, precise. One dagger scored across Logan's ribs, deep, or seeking organs. The other went for his throat. Logan caught the throat strike on his forearm, adamantium bones stopping the blade. His other hand lashed out, claws extending, catching Noir across the chest. The black armor sparked but held, reinforced, probably with Vought's best materials. Noir didn't make a sound, just repositioned, analyzing Logan's fighting style with cold efficiency. This wasn't Homelander's theatrical violence. This was a professional killer doing his job. "Noir, stand down!" The voice came from above. Queen Maeve descended from the sky, landing between Logan and Black Noir. She was in full costume, but her face was set with determination Logan recognized. Someone making a choice they couldn't take back. "Maeve?" Homelander's voice carried confusion and fury. "What the fuck are you doing?" "My job," she said. "Protecting civilians. You're going to level this whole block chasing him. People will die." "I don't care." Homelander's eyes were still glowing. "He made me bleed, Maeve. He needs to die." "Listen to yourself," Maeve's voice cracked. "You sound like a child having a tantrum. We're supposed to be heroes." "I am a hero." Homelander flew closer, hovering. "I'm the hero. I save people. I protect America. And when someone threatens that, when someone makes me look weak, I eliminate the threat." "By killing civilians?" Maeve gestured to the people still fleeing, filming on phones, watching their heroes turn on each other. "Look around. This is going viral right now. Every camera in Queens is watching Homelander lose his shit over one guy." Homelander faltered. His eyes tracked to the phones, the cameras, the witnesses. His public image, the thing Vought had built his entire identity around, crumbling in real time. Logan used the distraction. He ran. Not away from the fight, but toward it. Toward Homelander. His tactical mind was working again, the berserker rage subsiding enough for strategy. He couldn't win this fight, not here, not now. Homelander was too strong, too fast, too invulnerable. But Logan had accomplished something more important. He'd proven Homelander could bleed, could be hurt, could be vulnerable. And everyone was watching. Logan's claws extended as he closed distance. Homelander saw him coming, heat vision building. But Maeve was faster. She grabbed Homelander's arm, disrupted his aim. The heat vision cut skyward, harmless. "Get out of my way," Homelander shoved her. Maeve flew backward, crashed into a building wall, but she'd bought Logan seconds. Seconds he used to get close. Logan leaped, claws leading, going for Homelander's eyes again. The soup's hands came up, caught Logan's wrists. They grappled, suspended 3 feet off the ground by Homelander's flight, adamantium claws inches from invulnerable skin. "You can't win," Homelander hissed, blood still trickling from his eye, a visible reminder of his fallibility. "I'm stronger, faster, better." "Maybe," Logan said, "but I'm meaner." He headbutted Homelander, adamantium-laced skull against invulnerable face. It hurt Logan more than Homelander, but it surprised him, forced him to drop Logan. Logan hit the pavement rolling, came up moving. Black Noir was closing in again, and Maeve was down. He needed backup. "Butcher!" Logan snarled into the comm. "Ma, where the fuck are you?" "Regrouping," Butcher's voice crackled back. "You were supposed to fall back with us." "Change of plans. I need a distraction, something big." Silence for 3 seconds. Then, "You're fucking mental, but I've got something. Clear the street. 30 seconds. Logan ran, drawing Homelander and Noir after him. Civilians scrambled away. Homelander pursued, heat vision carving burning trails across asphalt. "You can't run forever," Homelander shouted. The blood on his face had dried, but the psychological damage was done. His invincibility had been questioned, his supremacy challenged, in front of cameras. 20 seconds. Logan vaulted over a car, Homelander's heat vision cutting it in half behind him. Noir threw a knife. It embedded in Logan's calf, sent him stumbling. His healing factor pushed it out. He sealed the wound, but he'd lost momentum. 15 seconds. Homelander landed in front of him, cutting off escape. End of the line, Logan. Any last words before I turn you into a grease stain? Logan's claws extended. Yeah, duck. The truck hit Homelander from the side. It wasn't just any truck. It was a tanker. 40 tons of liquid fuel, driven by Frenchie with his shoulder bandaged and his eyes wild. The impact sent Homelander flying, smashing through a storefront. The tanker rolled, ruptured. Fuel spilled across the street, and Butcher was already there with a flare gun. Fire in the hole, he shouted. The street ignited. A wall of flame 20 feet high, engulfing everything. The tanker, the buildings, the space where Homelander had landed. The heat was intense enough to make Logan's skin blister even from 50 feet away. Through the flames, a figure emerged. Homelander, costume singed but intact, not even breathing hard. Really? Fire? I've been through nuclear blasts. I've flown through the sun's corona in simulations. You think? fired a rocket launcher. The RPG hit Homelander center mass, exploded, adding to the inferno. Homelander stood in the flames, heat vision cutting through smoke and fire. This is pathetic. You're all pathetic. Terrorizing civilians, destroying property, trying to kill a hero. You're not a hero, Huey's voice, amplified through a bullhorn. He was on a rooftop, phone camera streaming. You're a murderer. Flight 37. You let 139 people die because you didn't want to look bad. Homelander froze. I have the black box recording, Huey continued, voice shaking but determined. Vought buried it, but I found it. Are the world's going to hear how you abandoned those people? Logan could see Homelander's expression. Shock, fury, fear. Not physical fear. Social fear. The fear of exposure, of his carefully crafted image shattering. That's classified, Homelander said, but his voice was uncertain. You can't. Vought will. Vought already knows, Maeve said. She was standing now, battered but defiant. I gave Huey the recording. I'm done protecting you, done covering up your murders. The street fell silent except for crackling flames. Phone cameras everywhere, streaming live. The Seven turning on itself. Homelander's invincibility questioned. His heroism exposed as corporate fiction. Homelander looked at Maeve, betrayal and rage warring on his face. You gave them the truth, Maeve said. Zia, something you've never cared about. Homelander's heat vision activated, aimed at Maeve. You're dead. You're all dead. I'll kill every single one of you, then I'll kill everyone who watched this, everyone who knows. Logan moved. While Homelander was distracted, focused on Maeve, Logan closed the distance. His claws found the same spot as before, the microscopic gap near Homelander's right eye socket. This time he twisted harder, dug deeper. Blood flowed freely now. Not just a trickle, actual blood, running down Homelander's face. Homelander screamed, fury and pain and shattered ego. He grabbed Logan, slammed him into the ground hard enough to crack concrete. Once, twice, 3 times. Logan's healing factor struggled to keep up. Bones breaking, organs rupturing, brain trauma. But he held on, claws still embedded, still twisting. Let ye go! Homelander punctuated each word with another slam. Logan's world was pain and healing in an endless cycle. His consciousness flickered, close to blacking out, close to dying if death was even possible for him, but he didn't let go. Because he'd learned something in 200 years of fighting. Sometimes winning wasn't about beating the enemy. Sometimes it was about making them understand they could be beaten. Homelander's 7th slam finally broke Logan's grip. He flew backward, hit a building wall, slumped down. His body was broken. Would take minutes to heal this time, maybe longer. Homelander stood in the burning street, blood covering half his face, costume torn, breathing hard. For the first time in his life, he looked mortal, vulnerable, human. And every camera in New York had captured it. This isn't over, Homelander said. But his voice shook. Vought will bury this. Edgar will handle it. Tomorrow, no one will remember. The stream's already got 2 million views, Huey called down. It's on every platform. You can't bury this. Everyone knows now. Everyone saw you bleed. Homelander's eyes tracked to the cameras, the phones, the witnesses. His perfect image, shattered. His invincibility, questioned. His supremacy, challenged by a Canadian nobody with claws. Black Noir appeared beside him, silent as always. Even behind the mask, Logan could sense calculation, reporting this to Vought, analyzing the situation, determining if Homelander was still the asset worth protecting. Sirens approached. Real ones this time. NYPD, fire department, maybe even military. The situation had escalated beyond Vought's ability to immediately contain. Homelander looked at Logan, broken, healing, defiant. Then at the boys, scattered but alive. Then at Maeve, standing against him. This isn't over, he repeated. Then he flew, Black Noir following, disappearing into the night sky. The street fell silent except for crackling flames and approaching sirens. Logan's healing factor finally caught up. Bones reset, organs regenerated, consciousness stabilized. He stood, swaying, and looked at Butcher. That went well, Logan said. Butcher laughed, exhausted, relieved, slightly hysterical. You made Homelander bleed, on camera. You magnificent bastard, you actually did it. Maeve approached Logan, tears on her face. I haven't felt this alive in years, watching you stand up to him, watching him realize he could be hurt. Thank you. Don't thank me yet, Logan said. He's not done. None of them are. This just got started. But as emergency services flooded the area and social media exploded with footage of Homelander bleeding, vulnerable, beatable, Logan knew something had changed. This universe's God had bled, and everyone knew. Vought Tower, 3 hours after the Queen's incident. Stan Edgar sat in his executive suite watching the news coverage on 12 different screens. Each one showed the same thing. Homelander's face, blood running from his eye, looking scared. The hashtag Homelander bleeds was trending worldwide. The stock price had dropped 8% in 90 minutes. Calls were flooding in from shareholders, government contacts, military liaisons, everyone wanting to know if Vought's premier product was defective. Edgar's phone buzzed. The president. He ignored it. Madeline Stillwell entered without knocking, tablet in hand, expression carefully neutral. Damage control options? Edgar asked. Limited. Stillwell pulled up analytics. The footage has been downloaded 50 million times. Every media outlet is running it. We've issued takedown notices, but it's too widespread. Deepfake accusations aren't working. Too many independent sources captured the same event. What about the Flight 37 recording? Stillwell's jaw tightened. Also spreading. Audio quality is degraded, but it's clearly Homelander and Maeve's voices. We can claim it's edited, taken out of context, but... She paused. The public is listening now. After seeing him bleed, they're questioning everything. Edgar nodded slowly. Where is he? His penthouse. He's destroyed 3 rooms so far. Our psychologist tried to talk to him. Homelander threw her through a wall. Non-fatally, Stillwell added. He's still maintaining that much control. And Logan? Disappeared with the boys. We've got teams searching, but Butcher knows how to stay hidden. Stillwell hesitated. Sir, there's another issue. Maeve gave that interview to GNN. She's corroborating the Flight 37 story. She's committing career suicide, Edgar finished. Let her. Without Compound 5 support, she's just another washed-up hero. We'll leak her alcoholism, her relationship problems, discredit her completely. It might not work this time, Stillwell said quietly. The public saw her stand up to Homelander. They're calling her brave. #Maeve. Tells truth is trending alongside Homelander bleeds. Edgar was silent for a moment, processing, and the situation was deteriorating faster than Vought could control. Recommendations? Double down on Homelander as the victim. Logan is a dangerous foreign operative, possibly terrorist-aligned, who ambushed America's hero using unknown weapons. The bleeding was a fluke, won't happen again. Homelander is already healing, stronger than ever. And if Logan appears again? Stillwell met his eyes. We eliminate him. Publicly. Make it look like Homelander was holding back before being heroic, giving him a chance to surrender. Next time, no mercy. Kill Logan on camera, prove Homelander is still invincible. Will that work? Only if Logan stays dead, Stillwell admitted. His healing factor is unprecedented. We need to study him first, understand his limits. Edgar stood, walked to the windows overlooking New York. Somewhere out there, Logan was hiding. A variable Vought hadn't created, couldn't control, and apparently couldn't easily kill. Authorize Black Noir, Edgar said. Full lethal engagement. Find Logan, bring me the body. We'll study his healing factor post-mortem. And Homelander. Keep him contained. No public appearances until we've rehabilitated his image. And find me everything on Logan, where he came from, how he got here, what his weaknesses are. Edgar turned back to Stillwell. This universe has an order. Vought controls the Supes. The Supes protect America. America worships the Supes. Logan threatens that order, so we remove him. The boys' safe house in Brooklyn smelled like antiseptic and blood. Frenchie was patching wounds, his own shoulder, MM's burns, Huey's various cuts from flying debris. Logan sat apart, on a healing factor doing the heavy lifting, watching his team. His team. When had he started thinking of them that way? Butcher appeared with a laptop, set it in front of Logan. You're famous, mate, or infamous. Hard to tell which. The screen showed news coverage. Every channel was covering the Queen's fight. Pundits debated whether Logan was a hero or a terrorist. The footage of Homelander bleeding played on loop. The Flight 37 audio had been picked up by major networks. Vought was denying it, but the damage was done. Vaught's stock is tanking, MM said, looking at his own screen. Public trust in the Seven is at an all-time low. People are questioning everything. How many other cover-ups? How many other deaths? Good, Butcher said with satisfaction. We've been trying to expose these cunts for years. You did it in one fight. Logan didn't feel victorious. He felt tired. Homelander's going to come back harder. And next time, he won't care about cameras or public image. He'll just want me dead. Let him come, Butcher said. We'll be ready. No. Logan stood, wincing as partially healed ribs protested. You won't. I fought him at maybe 60% capacity because I was trying to protect civilians, avoid collateral damage. He was holding back too, didn't want to look too brutal on camera. Next time, he'll cut loose completely. He'll level buildings. Kill everyone around me just to make a point. So what do you suggest? Huey asked. We just hide? Let Vought win? I suggest we get smarter. Logan paced, tactical mind working. Homelander's weakness isn't physical, it's psychological. He needs to be loved, needs to be the hero. We attacked that tonight, made him look vulnerable. We keep doing that, keep making him look weak, he'll spiral. Or he'll snap completely, MM said. Kill everyone in a 5-block radius to prove he's still in control. Then we make sure when he snaps, we're ready. Logan looked at Butcher. You said you've been fighting Vought for years. What's your endgame? What's the goal here? Butcher's expression darkened. Kill Homelander. Expose Vought. Burn the whole corrupt system down. Why? Silence. Butcher looked away, jaw clenched. MM spoke instead. Homelander raped Butcher's wife, Becca. She disappeared 8 years ago. Vought made her vanish, claimed she ran away. Butcher's been hunting Homelander ever since. Logan understood immediately. This wasn't about justice or heroism for Butcher. This was personal. Revenge. I'm sorry, Logan said quietly. Don't be. Butcher's voice was flat. Just help me kill him. You proved it's possible. You made him bleed. Now we figure out how to make him die. Before Logan could respond, the door burst open. Maeve entered, costume torn, face bruised, moving like she'd been in a fight. Vaught's coming, she said. Black Noir and a full tactical team. They tracked my phone. I didn't think they'd move this fast. Butcher swore, already moving. How long? 10 minutes, maybe less. Maeve looked at Logan. They want you alive if possible. Dead if necessary. Stan Edgar authorized lethal force. Logan's claws extended. Then we fight. No, MM said firmly. We run. This safe house is burned, but we've got others. We evacuate, regroup, plan the next move. I'm tired of running, Logan growled. And I'm tired of watching people die, MM's voice cracked. We've lost too many people already. Good people. People who believed in this fight. I won't lose more tonight because you've got a death wish. Logan looked at MM, at the fear and determination mixed on his face, at Huey's wide eyes, at Frenchie already packing go bags with practiced efficiency. These weren't soldiers. They were people pushed to the edge, fighting with whatever they had because no one else would. They'd seen enough death. All right, Logan said, retracting his claws. We run, but we need a better plan than just hiding. Vaught's too big, too connected. They'll find us eventually. I might have something, Maeve said. She pulled a flash drive from her costume. Vaught's Compound V research. Decades of experiments, trial results, the babies they injected. The ones who didn't survive. Everything they've buried. I copied it before I left the tower. Butcher took the drive like it was made of gold. This could destroy them, completely. That's the idea, Maeve said. You wanted to burn Vought down? There's your match. Release that data, and every government, every news organization, every family who lost someone to Compound V trials will come after them. Why now? Logan asked. Why help us? Maeve met his eyes. Because you reminded me what a real hero looks like. And I'm done being a fake one. She smiled bitterly. Besides, Vaught's already going to kill me for the Flight 37 leak. Might as well make it worth it. Footsteps outside. Multiple targets moving fast. Black Noir and his team approaching the building. Time to go, Butcher said. Frenchie, you're with me, MM. I take Huey and the data. Logan, Maeve, your rear guard. We meet at fallback position 7. They moved with practiced efficiency. Go bags grabbed, weapons checked, exits secured. Logan let his enhanced senses sweep the building. 6 contacts outside. No, 7. Black Noir and 6 tactical operators, all carrying weapons designed to kill soups. The boys evacuated through the basement, moving through old subway tunnels Butcher had mapped years ago. Logan and Maeve stayed behind, waiting. You don't have to do this, Maeve said. You could run. Go back to your universe if you can find a way. This isn't your fight. It is now, Logan said. He'd made it his fight the moment he stopped A-Train from killing that kid. The moment he saw how corrupt this universe's heroes were. The moment he understood that no one else was standing up to Vought. The door exploded inward. Black Noir entered first, silent and lethal. His tactical team followed, spreading out with military precision. Logan's claws extended. You boys want a piece of me? Come and get it. Noir tilted his head, analyzing, calculating. Then he moved. Fast. Faster than Logan expected. Twin daggers leading, going for arteries and organs with surgical precision. Logan blocked, claws meeting blades, adamantium on reinforced steel. Sparks flew. The tactical team opened fire. Not regular bullets, but Compound V-enhanced rounds designed to penetrate soup durability. They hit Logan's center mass, punched through flesh, shattered against adamantium bone. His healing factor sealed the wounds, even as more bullets hit. Maeve charged the tactical team, super strength sending 2 operators flying. She was holding back, not killing, just incapacitating. Still clinging to some version of heroism. Logan had no such qualms. His claws found an operator's throat. Blood sprayed. The man went down, choking. Logan moved to the next target, claws through body armor, through ribs, finding the heart. Instant death. Noir reacted, increased aggression, going for kill shots. His daggers found openings in Logan's defense, cutting deep. Logan's healing factor worked overtime, but Noir was relentless, professional, never stopping. Maeve, Logan shouted, go, get out of here. I'm not leaving you. I can't die. You can. Go. Maeve hesitated, then ran. Smart. Logan could regenerate from almost anything. She couldn't. Alone with Black Noir and the remaining tactical team, Logan let the Berserker rage surface again. No holding back, no mercy, just survival. And he tore through the tactical team like paper, claws finding flesh, ending threats. Noir danced around him, landing cuts, avoiding fatal strikes, wearing Logan down through blood loss and stamina drain. They fought for 3 minutes that felt like hours. The room became a slaughterhouse. Bodies, blood, spent ammunition. Logan's healing factor was slowing, struggling to keep up with the cumulative damage. Noir didn't slow at all. Finally, Logan made a mistake. Overextended on a strike, left his right side exposed. Noir's dagger punched through his ribs, into his lung, twisted. Logan gasped, lung collapsing, healing factor prioritizing the critical damage. Noir pulled the dagger out, positioned for a kill strike to Logan's throat. The explosion rocked the building. Frenchie's insurance. Remote charges set throughout the safe house. The floor collapsed, sending both Logan and Noir tumbling into the basement in a rain of concrete and fire. Logan landed hard, bones breaking, healing. He rolled to his feet, searching for Noir in the rubble. The assassin was gone. Disappeared into the shadows like he'd never been there. Logan stood alone in the burning safe house, healing from a dozen wounds, surrounded by dead tactical operators. He'd survived. Again. But Vought would keep coming. And next time, they'd send something worse. The fallback position was an abandoned meatpacking plant in the Bronx, far enough from Vought's usual surveillance net to buy them time. Logan arrived last, covered in blood, most of it not his own, and found the boys waiting with medical supplies they wouldn't need. "Christ," Butcher said, looking at the gore. You look like you went through a blender." "Black Noir's good," Logan admitted, pulling off his shredded shirt. The wounds were already closed, pink scar tissue fading to normal skin. "Professional. Doesn't talk, doesn't hesitate, doesn't stop. If Frenchie hadn't blown the building, he might have found a way to put me down permanent." "No one can put you down permanent," Huey said. It sounded like a question hoping to be a statement. Logan thought about the adamantium bonding process, about drowning in a river for hours before his healing factor kicked back in, about the times he'd come so close to actual death that the line blurred. "Everyone's got limits. I just haven't found mine yet. Doesn't mean they don't exist." MM was already at the laptop examining Maeve's flash drive. Jesus. This is everything. Baby trials going back 40 years. Mortality rates. Failed batches. They were dosing infants with compound V, seeing what stuck. Hundreds died. "Hundreds of babies," Huey corrected, voice hollow. "They killed hundreds of babies to create superheroes they could sell." Frenchie looked at the screen over MM's shoulder. "Mon Dieu, there are names here, addresses. Families who were paid to stay quiet about their dead children." "That's our ammunition," Butcher said. "We leak this. Vought's finished. Government investigations, criminal charges, public outrage. They won't survive it." "They'll lawyer up," Maeve said. She'd cleaned up, changed into civilian clothes, looked smaller without the costume. "Vought has the best legal team in the world. They'll claim the data's fabricated, stolen by terrorists. Inadmissible." "Not if we have corroboration," MM said. "If we can find some of these families, get them to talk on record." "They're scared," Maeve interrupted. "Vought threatened them, paid them. Some of them probably convinced themselves it was worth it. Their baby died, but they got a house, college funds for surviving children, financial security. Guilt and money make people complicit." Logan paced, letting his tactical mind process. Vought was too big to take down with just data. They had politicians bought, media controlled, public perception managed. A leak would damage them, but wouldn't destroy them. "We need more than documents," Logan said. "We need a symbol, something the public can't ignore or rationalize away." "Like what?" Huey asked. "Homelander bleeding was pretty fucking symbolic, and Vought's already spinning it as a fluke." Logan stopped pacing. An idea forming. Dangerous, probably suicidal, but effective. "We make Homelander confess, on camera, in front of the world. We break him psychologically until he admits everything. The murders, the cover-ups, Flight 37, all of it. Silence. Then Butcher laughed, sharp and vicious. You want to put Homelander on trial, publicly, with the whole world watching. Not a trial, Logan corrected. A reckoning. We expose what he is, force him to either admit it or snap completely. Either way, Vought loses. He confesses. Their golden boy is finished. He murders people on camera during a breakdown. Same result. That's insane, said. How do we even get him to show up? He's not going to walk into an ambush. He will if his ego demands it, Maeve said slowly. Yeah, she was seeing it now. The psychological trap. Homelander can't stand being questioned. Can't stand anyone suggesting he's weak or damaged. If we challenge him publicly, call him a coward, say he's hiding because Logan scared him. He'll come, Logan finished. And he'll come alone because having backup would prove we were right about him being scared. Where? Butcher asked. Can't be anywhere with civilians. When this goes sideways, and it will go sideways, people will die. Logan thought about the terrain, the environment. He needed space, defensibility, somewhere symbolic. The Statue of Liberty, empty at night, isolated and symbolic as hell. Liberty versus tyranny. Freedom versus corporate control. Statue's federal property, said. Vought has connections, but they can't completely control that location. Yeah, and the symbolism works. American hero facing judgment at America's most famous monument. Frenchie nodded. I can hack the security systems, give us access, plant cameras for live streaming. The whole world watches. Homelander will destroy the statue, Maeve warned. When he loses control, and he will, he'll level it just to prove he can. Good, Logan said. Let him. Let America watch their hero destroy their symbol. That's worth more than any document leak. Huey was pulling up news feeds on his laptop. Vought's already scheduled a press conference for tomorrow morning. Homelander is going to make a statement about the Queen's incident. That's our window. We interrupt the feed, issue our challenge, force him to respond. He'll have handlers, PR people trying to control the message, said. Then we make it too big to control, Butcher said. He was smiling now, predatory and eager. We hijack every major network, make it impossible for Vought to bury. We give Homelander a choice, face Logan at the statue, or admit to the world he's scared of a Canadian with knives. Logan looked at each of them. Butcher's vengeful determination, MM's careful strategy, Huey's nervous courage, Frenchie's technical brilliance, Maeve's desperate hope for redemption. A team built from broken pieces, fighting an enemy that seemed invincible. He'd been on teams like this before. The X-Men had started as outcasts and misfits. Some of them died. Some of them fell. But they fought anyway, because someone had to. All right, Logan said. We do this tomorrow night. One chance. We break Homelander, or he breaks us. And if he kills you, Huey asked quietly, what if your healing factor has limits and he finds them? Logan's claws extended, retracted. Then you leak the data anyway. Expose Vought. Burn it all down. Don't let them win just because I'm gone. 20 hours later, Logan stood on Liberty Island, looking up at the statue's massive form silhouetted against the night sky. The island was empty. Frenchie had handled the security. had cleared civilians under the guise of a bomb threat. The boys were positioned around the island with cameras, weapons, and very little hope. Butcher stood beside Logan, checking his rifle for the third time. You know this is mental, right? We're basically serving you up to Homelander on a silver platter. That's the idea, Logan said. His healing factor had fully recovered from the Black Noir fight. He was as ready as he'd ever be. How's the broadcast looking? Huey's voice came through the earpiece. We've hijacked the feed to Vought's press conference. When Homelander takes the stage, every screen in America will show our message instead. No way they can stop it in time. Maeve? Logan asked. I'm here. Her voice was tight with tension. She was positioned near the statue's base, ready to intervene if things went completely wrong. Logan, you don't have to do this. We can find another way. There is no other way, Logan said. Homelander won't stop until one of us is dead. Might as well make it count. The clock hit 9 p.m. In Vought Tower, Homelander would be stepping up to a podium. You ready to deliver a carefully scripted statement about how the Queen's incident was an unfortunate encounter with a dangerous terrorist, how he'd shown restraint and mercy, how he was still America's hero. Instead, every screen in the building and across the country cut to black. Then Logan's face appeared, recorded earlier, broadcast now from the boys' hack. "My name is Logan," the recording said. "3 days ago, I arrived in this universe and discovered something disturbing. Your heroes aren't heroes. They're corporate products, manufactured, controlled, sold to the highest bidder, and the worst of them is Homelander." Cut to footage of Homelander bleeding in Queens, of him threatening civilians, of Flight 37's audio recording. "Homelander is a murderer," Logan's voice continued. "He's killed hundreds of people, on abandoned plane crash victims, covered up crimes, all while Vought International sold him as America's protector. But he's not a protector. He's a bully. And bullies need to be stopped." The camera cut to live feed. Logan standing on Liberty Island, claws extended. "So here's my challenge, Homelander. You and me. No backup, no Vought handlers, no corporate PR. Just you and the guy who made you bleed. Let's see if you're as invincible as you claim. Or are you scared?" The broadcast cut back to Vought's press conference. Chaos. Homelander standing at the podium, face red with fury, handlers scrambling, audience in shock. Homelander looked directly at the nearest camera. His eyes were glowing red. "I'm going to kill you," he said quietly. "I'm going to fly to that island and tear you apart. Slowly. And then I'm going to find everyone who helped you and do the same to them." He flew, through the roof of Vought Tower, not bothering with doors or windows. The sonic boom shattered glass across Midtown. "He's coming," Huey's voice crackled. "ETA 3 minutes. Logan cracked his neck, loosened his shoulders. His enhanced senses could already hear it, the sound of flight, approaching fast from Manhattan. Homelander, no longer pretending to be a hero, just rage and power, coming to kill. Butcher put a hand on Logan's shoulder. "For what it's worth, mate, you're the first real hero this universe has seen. Don't let that cunt make you regret it." Then Butcher was moving, taking position with the others, leaving Logan alone at the statue's base. The sound of flight grew louder, closer. Logan extended his claws, planted his feet, and waited. In the sky above the statue lit up red. Heat vision, firing from a mile away. Logan dove, and the beam carved a molten line through the ground where he'd stood. Homelander descended like an avenging angel, cape billowing, eyes blazing. But there was nothing angelic about his expression. This was pure hatred. "No cameras this time," Homelander said, landing 50 feet away. "No civilians to protect. No reason for me to hold back." He smiled, terrible and cold. "Just you and me, Logan. And by the time I'm done, there won't be enough of you left to heal." Logan's claws gleamed in the moonlight. "Then stop talking and fight, bub." Homelander's heat vision fired. The real battle had begun. Logan didn't dodge the heat vision this time. He couldn't, not at this range. The beams hit him center mass and the world became fire. His chest exploded. On ribs vaporized. Organs cooked. The adamantium skeleton held, conducting heat like a furnace through his entire body. Logan screamed, animal sound, pure agony, as his healing factor struggled to regenerate tissue faster than Homelander's heat vision could destroy it. 3 seconds. 5. 8. Then Logan moved. Through the pain, through the impossible heat, he charged. Homelander's eyes widened, surprised that Logan was still functional, still fighting. The heat vision cut off as Homelander adjusted his stance, and in that half-second window, Logan closed the distance. His claws drove toward Homelander's face, both hands, all 6 claws, aimed at the eyes with every ounce of berserker fury. Homelander caught Logan's wrists, stopped the strike inches from his face. They grappled, adamantium against invulnerability. Out Logan's chest was still regenerating, lungs reforming, heart rebuilding, flesh knitting over exposed ribs. His healing factor was working overtime, burning through energy reserves at an unsustainable rate. "You should have run," Homelander said. He twisted Logan's wrists, adamantium bones grinding against each other. The pain was excruciating. I would have found you eventually, but you could have had a few more days. Weeks, maybe. Logan headbutted him, adamantium skull against invulnerable face. It hurt Logan more, but it disrupted Homelander's grip enough for Logan to wrench one hand free. His claws raked across Homelander's chest. The adamantium didn't penetrate, but the force, 200 pounds of muscle and adamantium-laced skeleton behind it, actually pushed Homelander backward a step. One step. Homelander looked down at his chest. No wound, no scratch, but his costume was torn. The American flag across his chest ripped, his symbol damaged. That was a mistake, Homelander said quietly. He grabbed Logan by the throat with one hand, lifted him off the ground, and flew straight up. They ascended fast, 50 feet, 100, 200. The statue shrank below them. The boys' cameras tracked upward, broadcasting everything. At 300 feet, Homelander stopped, held Logan out over empty air. Everyone watching this needs to understand something, Homelander said, his voice carrying to the cameras below through enhanced projection. Logan thinks he's a hero, thinks he can challenge me, expose me, break me. But he's wrong. I am a god. And gods don't break. He released Logan. Logan fell, accelerating, wind screaming past, where the ground rushed up, concrete, unforgiving. His healing factor braced for impact, but physics was physics. This would hurt. He hit the statue's base at terminal velocity. The concrete cracked. Logan's body shattered, spine snapped in 3 places, pelvis fragmented, both legs destroyed, internal organs ruptured from deceleration trauma. For 10 seconds, he couldn't move, couldn't breathe. Healing factor prioritizing critical systems. Spinal cord first, then lungs, then structural integrity. Homelander landed beside him, not even breathing hard. That would kill any normal person, but you're not normal, are you? He crouched, watching Logan's bones reset, watching flesh regenerate. Fascinating. Vought scientists are going to love studying you, once I'm done making my point. Logan's right hand moved, claws extending, in slashing at Homelander's ankle. The claws bounced off, but Logan kept trying, kept fighting. Homelander grabbed Logan's wrist, pinned it to the concrete. His other hand pressed down on Logan's chest, where the healing factor was still rebuilding lung tissue. Here's what I think, Homelander said conversationally. I think your healing factor has limits. Maybe you can't be killed, but you can be broken. Traumatized enough that you stop healing right. Stop thinking straight. His eyes glowed red. Let's find out. The heat vision fired at point-blank range, focused on Logan's chest. Homelander wasn't trying to kill him instantly. He was cauterizing, burning, keeping the wounds open while Logan's healing factor struggled to close them, creating a cycle of damage and regeneration that would exhaust Logan's body completely. Logan's world became pain. Nothing but pain. The berserker rage tried to surface, but there was nothing to rage against, just relentless, methodical torture from someone who couldn't be hurt. Stop, Maeve's voice. She charged Homelander, super strength behind her fist. Homelander's hand came up casually, caught her punch. Maeve, I was wondering when you'd make your move. He stood, still holding her fist, heat vision fading. You know what the funny thing is? I used to love you. Thought we were partners, America's power couple. I never loved you, Maeve said. I was terrified of you. We all were. Good. Homelander's grip tightened. Maeve's hand cracked, bones breaking. She gasped in pain. Fear is honest. Fear is real. Not like the fake love from the public or the fake respect from Vought. My fear is the only genuine emotion anyone's ever given me. He threw Maeve into the statue's base. She hit hard, slumped down, trying to rise but failing. Broken hand, probably broken ribs, internal injuries. She'd survive, but she was out of the fight. Logan was on his feet again, healing factor finally catching up. His chest was a mess of scar tissue and fresh burns, but he was functional. His claws extended. You don't quit, do you? Homelander said. There was almost respect in his voice. I've killed hundreds of people, Logan. Thousands, if you count collateral damage. Most of them begged, pleaded. offered me anything to stop. But you? You just keep getting up. That's what heroes do, Logan rasped. His throat was damaged, healing. We don't quit. Don't matter if we're outmatched. Don't matter if we're gonna lose. Ma, we fight anyway. That's not heroism, Homelander said. That's stupidity. He moved faster than before, genuine speed, blurring forward. His fist caught Logan's jaw, snapped his head back, cracked his adamantium-laced skull. Logan's brain bounced inside his head, concussion trauma, vision going gray. Homelander hit him again. And again. Precision strikes, targeting Logan's head, trying to scramble his brain faster than his healing factor could repair it. Logan's consciousness flickered. In and out, pain and darkness trading places. He couldn't see, couldn't think. Just felt his body being destroyed, felt his healing factor struggling, failing, burning out. Enough. Butcher's voice, distant. Gunfire. Not regular bullets, something else. Something that made Homelander grunt. The beating stopped. Logan's vision cleared slowly. Your healing factor, repairing ocular damage, brain trauma. He saw Butcher standing 50 feet away with a massive rifle, some kind of Vought prototype firing specialized rounds. The bullets didn't hurt Homelander, but they annoyed him. William Butcher, Homelander said. I've been meaning to talk to you. About Becca. About what I did to her. Butcher's finger tightened on the trigger. Say her name again, I fucking dare you. Homelander smiled. She was screaming by the end, begging me to stop. But I didn't. And you know what the funny part is? Vought covered it up, made her disappear, paid you off, and you took the money. Liar, Butcher fired. The specialized rounds hit Homelander's chest, broke apart, did nothing. Am I? Homelander flew toward Butcher, slow, savoring it. Check your bank account, Billy. Blood money from Vought? Ye compensation for your wife's disappearance. You've been living on it for 8 years. Logan saw Butcher's face, rage and horror mixing. Saw the truth in Homelander's words hitting home. Vought had paid him off, had made him complicit. Homelander reached Butcher, grabbed him by the throat. I'm going to tell you where she is, where Vought hit her after I was done. And then I'm going to kill you, and you'll die knowing you could have saved her if you just looked harder. Logan hit Homelander from behind. All 6 claws, both hands, driven into the same spot as before, the microscopic gap near Homelander's right eye socket. Logan had learned the anatomy now, knew exactly where invulnerability had limits. He twisted, leveraged, put his entire body weight, his entire adamantium skeleton, his entire berserker rage into forcing those claws deeper. Blood, more than before, not just a trickle, actual bleeding, running down Homelander's face. Homelander dropped Butcher, reached back, grabbed Logan's arms. But Logan held on, claws embedded, using his adamantium-laced bones as anchors. Let go! Homelander flew upward again, Logan still attached. They rose fast, 500 feet, 1,000. Logan's arms were being torn from their sockets, tendons stretching, but he didn't let go. At 2,000 feet, Homelander went inverted, flew straight down. Acceleration, speed, building momentum for impact that would pace Logan against the concrete. Logan's healing factor was exhausted. His energy reserves were gone. This hit would be too much too fast. Even he had limits. But he'd done what he came to do. He'd made Homelander bleed. It made him desperate. Made him show the world what he really was. Not a hero, but a monster. The ground rushed up. Logan pulled his claws free, shoved off Homelander's back, twisted in midair. They separated, Homelander pulling up, Logan continuing to fall. This time when Logan hit, he felt something break that his healing factor couldn't immediately fix. Something deep, something fundamental. The world went black. He woke to voices, pain, someone shaking him. Logan, come on, mate, get up. Butcher's voice, hoarse with desperation. Logan's eyes opened. He was in a crater, his own body imprint. Blood everywhere, his pooling beneath him. His healing factor was working, but slowly. So slowly. He's alive, MM said. Jesus Christ, he's actually alive. Above them, Homelander floated. Blood still running from his damaged eye, costume torn, eye breathing hard for the first time Logan had seen. But he was smiling. "This was fun," Homelander said. "Really. You gave me the best fight I've had in years, Logan. But it's over now. You're broken. Your friends are broken. And I'm still standing." He raised his hand, heat vision building. "Time to end this. And everyone watching can see what happens when someone challenges a god." Logan tried to move. Couldn't. His body was too damaged. Healing factor still working, but not fast enough. This was it. After 200 years, after surviving everything the world had thrown at him, he was going to die in a universe that wasn't even his own. Then the sky lit up with laser fire. Not from Homelander, from above. A figure descended, glowing with energy, wearing a suit Logan didn't recognize. Female, powerful, eyes blazing with contained fury. "Stand down, Homelander," the woman said. "By federal order, you're under investigation for crimes against humanity. Surrender peacefully or face lethal response." Homelander stared at her. "Who the fuck are you?" The woman smiled. "I'm Starlight, the real kind of hero, the kind Vought didn't make, and I'm here to make sure you finally answer for what you've done." Behind her, more figures appeared. Other soups. Not from the Seven, from other teams. Soups who'd seen Logan's fight, seen Homelander's brutality, decided enough was enough. Homelander looked around at them, at the cameras still broadcasting, at Logan, broken but alive, at the blood on his own face. For the first time in his life, Homelander was outnumbered, and everyone was watching. Homelander's eyes tracked across the assembled soups. Starlight, a hovering with energy crackling around her fists. A speedster Logan didn't recognize, wearing blue and gold. A massive figure in green armor, clearly enhanced strength. Half a dozen others, all watching Homelander with expressions ranging from fear to determination. "You think numbers matter?" Homelander's voice was tight, controlled fury barely contained. "I've faced armies. I could kill every single one of you before you blinked." "Maybe," Starlight said. Her voice was steady, younger than Maeve, but carrying more conviction. "But you'd do it on camera, in front of the whole world. Everyone would see you slaughter heroes trying to stop a murderer. Is that the image Vought wants? Is that what America needs to see?" Homelander's jaw clenched. The cameras. Always the cameras. His entire identity built on public perception, on being loved or worshipped. One massacre caught on film, and even Vought couldn't spin it. Logan's healing factor was finally catching up. Spine reconnecting, organs regenerating, energy returning. He forced himself to sit up, claws extending for support. Blood poured from his mouth, but he was breathing. Healing. "Logan proved something tonight," Starlight continued, addressing the cameras as much as Homelander. "He proved you're not invincible, that you can bleed, that you can be stopped, and now everyone knows." "He proved nothing," Homelander's voice cracked, desperation showing. "I'm still standing. He's broken. I won." "Did you?" Butcher called out. He was helping Maeve to her feet, both of them battered but defiant. "Because from where I'm standing, you look fucking terrified, mate. Scared that after tonight no one will worship you anymore. Or scared that America sees you for what you really are." Homelander's heat vision activated, aimed at Butcher. Starlight moved, positioning herself between them, her own energy shield flaring. "Do it," she said quietly. "Kill him, kill me, kill all of us. But you'll do it while the world watches, and they'll finally see the monster Vought created." The moment stretched. Homelander's eyes blazed red, power building. Logan could see the calculation behind those eyes. Pride versus pragmatism, rage versus image. Homelander had never been denied before, never been told no, never had his supremacy genuinely questioned. "This isn't over," Homelander said finally. His voice was cold, controlled, but Logan could hear the crack in it, the first sign of something breaking underneath. "Vought will handle this. Edgar will fix this. By tomorrow, all of you will be labeled terrorists, and I'll still be America's hero." "I don't think so," MM said. He was holding up a tablet, showing a live feed. While you were busy trying to kill Logan, we released everything. Compound 5 baby trials, your murders, Flight 37 full audio, Maeve's testimony, all of it. Every major news outlet, every social media platform. It's out there, and it can't be buried. Homelander's face went pale. You... number. Edgar will... Edgar can't fix this, Starlight said. The Attorney General already issued an arrest warrant. Federal prosecutors want testimony. The UN is calling for international investigation. Vought's stock dropped 40% in the last hour. It's over, Homelander. You lost. For the first time in his life, Homelander looked small, uncertain. The God King facing his mortality not physically, but symbolically. Everything he'd built his identity on, power, worship, invincibility, crumbling. Logan watched emotions war on Homelander's face. Rage, fear, denial. And underneath it all, something else. Something that might have been relief. I was following orders, Homelander said quietly. Vought told me what to do, how to act, what to say. They made me this way. You're not a victim, Maeve said, voice hard despite her injuries. You had choices, we all did. I made the wrong ones, stayed silent when I should have spoken. But I'm trying to fix that. You? You enjoyed it. Enjoyed the power, the fear, the worship. Homelander's eyes found Logan, still sitting in his own crater, healing slowly. You did this. You came to this universe and broke everything. Logan coughed blood, wiped his mouth. I exposed what was already broken. This universe's heroes were always corrupt. I just made people see it. So what now? Homelander's voice was hollow. You want me to surrender? Face trial? Spend the rest of my life in some compound V suppression cell? I want you to face consequences, Logan said. For the first time in your life, I want you to answer for what you've done. Homelander looked at the cameras, at the assembled soups, at the world watching. For a moment, Logan thought he might actually surrender, might actually accept accountability. Then Homelander smiled. Broken, terrible smile. No, he said simply. He flew, not at Logan, not at the heroes, but up. Straight up, faster than before. Accelerating, breaking the sound barrier, disappearing into the night sky. Running. For the first time in his life, Homelander was running away. Starlight started to pursue, but MM stopped her. Let him go. We've got everything we need. His career's over. Vought's finished. He's just a refugee now. Logan finally stood, healing factor having restored enough function to move. His body was a roadmap of trauma, scars fading, bones still knitting, but operational. He looked at Starlight. Who are you really? He asked. You're not from the 7. Annie January, she said, landing beside him. I was recruited for the 7 2 years ago. Saw what Homelander was, what Vought did, and started gathering allies. Heroes who wanted to actually help people, not just cash checks. When we saw your fight tonight, saw someone finally stand up to him. She smiled. We decided it was time to pick a side. Took you long enough, Butcher said, but there was no real venom in it. Just exhaustion. Frenchie's voice crackled over comms. Mes amis, Vought Tower is in chaos. Security evacuating. Stan Edgar is in federal custody. Madeline Stillwell is missing. The entire corporate structure is collapsing. Good, Logan said. He looked at the Statue of Liberty, still standing despite the battle, torch held high. Symbolic. This universe's symbol of freedom had witnessed the fall of its false gods. What about you? Maeve asked Logan. You're not from here. Are you going back to your universe? Logan thought about the X-Mansion, about his team, about the life he'd left. He'd been pulled here by accident, dimensional rift he didn't understand and couldn't control. Getting back wasn't a given. Don't know if I can, he admitted. But even if I could, there's work here. Vought might be falling, but there'll be other companies. Yet other corrupt systems. This universe needs heroes who can't be bought. It needs you, Huey said. He was recording everything, documenting the aftermath. You showed people what a real hero looks like. Someone who fights even when they can't win. Someone who doesn't quit. Logan retracted his claws. I'm not a hero, kid. I'm just someone who's been around too long to stomach bullies. That's exactly what makes you a hero, Starlight said. You didn't have to get involved. This wasn't your world, wasn't your fight. But you saw injustice and stood up anyway. That's the definition. Sirens approached. Federal agents, military, law enforcement. The aftermath would be complicated. Investigations, trials, restructuring an entire system built on corporate-controlled heroes. But for tonight, they'd won. Vought was exposed. Homelander was running. The truth was out. What happens now? MM asked. To the boys? To us? You're whistleblowers, Starlight said. Federal witnesses. You'll probably get immunity in exchange for testimony. Might even get medals, though. I know that's not what you're in it for. Butcher laughed, bitter and tired. Medals? Right. All I wanted was to see Homelander bleed. Mission accomplished, I suppose. It's not enough, Logan said quietly. You heard what he said about your wife, about where Vought hit her. You need to follow up on that. Find her, if she's still… He didn't finish. Didn't need to. Butcher's face showed he understood. 8 years was a long time. Whatever Homelander had done, whatever Vought had covered up, Becca might not have survived it. But Butcher deserved to know. Deserved closure. Yeah, Butcher said. Yeah, no, I'll look into it. Federal agents were arriving now, securing the scene. Logan let them approach, didn't resist when they asked questions, took statements. He was too tired to fight anymore. His healing factor had burned through massive energy reserves. He needed food, rest, time to fully recover. But as he watched the sun rise over New York, first light touching the Statue of Liberty, illuminating the damage from the fight, Logan felt something he hadn't felt in years. Hope. This universe was broken, corrupt, built on lies and corporate control. But it could be fixed. People like Starlight, like the boys, like Maeve trying to redeem herself, they could rebuild, create something better. And if Logan was stuck here, unable to return to his own universe, he'd help them do it. Because that's what heroes did, whether they wore the title or not. They fought for people who couldn't fight for themselves. They stood against tyranny, even when it wore a cape and flag. They didn't quit. Huey approached, phone still recording. So, Logan, you proved Homelander can bleed, exposed Vought, changed everything. What's next for you? Logan looked at the camera, thinking about everyone watching. About a universe seeing real heroism for maybe the first time in decades. Next, Logan said, I heal up. Then I find the next bully who needs stopping. Because there's always another one. And someone's got to stand up to them. He smiled, tired but genuine. Besides, I've been doing this for 200 years. Not about to quit now. The cameras captured it. Logan standing in the sunrise, battered but unbroken, adamantium claws gleaming, symbol of something this universe desperately needed. A hero who couldn't be bought, couldn't be controlled, couldn't be killed. An unkillable symbol of hope in a world that had forgotten what real heroism looked like. 3 months later, Logan sat in a Queens diner, reading the newspaper. The headline read, Homelander still at large. International manhunt continues. Vought International had dissolved under federal investigation. Stan Edgar was facing life in prison. Madeline Stillwell had turned state's evidence in exchange for immunity. The Seven had disbanded. Some members arrested, others disappearing, a few like Maeve working to redeem themselves. Starlight had formed a new team, independent heroes, funded by private donors and government contracts but with strict oversight. No corporate control, no manufactured heroism, just people trying to help. Logan had been invited to join, or he'd declined. Teams weren't his style anymore. But he'd agreed to consult, help train, be available when they needed heavy muscle and someone too stubborn to stay down. Butcher found his wife. Becca had been alive, hidden in a Vought safe house, raising Homelander's son. A boy with powers, with potential to become either savior or monster. Butcher was trying to be a father to the kid, trying to break the cycle. It wasn't easy, but he was trying. The boys had dissolved too. Their mission accomplished. MM returned to his family. Frenchie and Kimiko, who Logan had met later, a mute Soupy with her own trauma, were rebuilding lives. Huey worked with Starlight now, documenting the new heroes, making sure transparency remained. And Homelander? He was out there somewhere, hiding, running. No longer worshipped, no longer feared the way he'd been. He'd just another fugitive, hunted by governments and heroes alike. Logan knew they'd face each other again. Men like Homelander didn't change, didn't surrender. Eventually, he'd resurface. Eventually, they'd fight. But for now, this universe was healing. Learning what real heroism looked like. Building something better from the ashes of Vought's corruption. The diner door opened. Maeve entered, saw Logan, joined him at the booth. She looked different. Civilian clothes, no costume, hair natural instead of styled. Tired but more real than she'd been in years. "Heard you helped stop that thing in Boston," she said. "Wasn't me," Logan said. "Starlight's team handled it. I just consulted." "Liar," Maeve smiled. "You were there. I saw the footage. Someone with adamantium claws taking down a Compound 5 monster." Logan shrugged. "Yeah, maybe I was passing through." They sat in comfortable silence. Two people who'd fought monsters, external and internal, trying to figure out what came next. "You ever think about going home?" Maeve asked. "To your universe?" "Every day," Logan admitted. "Got people there, a team, a life." He paused. "But I'm needed here too. This universe is still figuring out what heroes should be. Someone's got to make sure they get it right." "Think they will?" Logan thought about Starlight's idealism, about Butcher trying to be a father, about all the people he'd met who were trying to build something better from the ruins. "Yeah," he said. "I think they've got a chance, long as someone's there to remind them what matters." Maeve stood to leave, then stopped. "Thank you. For reminding me too. And for showing me that it wasn't too late to be a real hero." Logan nodded. No words necessary. She left. Logan finished his coffee, dropped cash on the table, walked out into the New York sun. Somewhere in this universe, Homelander was hiding. Somewhere, new threats were emerging. Somewhere, people needed help. And Logan would be there. The unkillable weapon who'd learned to be a hero. The stranger from another universe who'd change this one forever. Because some fights were worth having. Some stands worth taking. Even when the odds were impossible. Even when victory wasn't guaranteed. Especially then. He walked into the city, claws retracted, healing factor ready. 200 years of experience guiding each step. This wasn't his universe, but it needed him. And Logan never walked away from people who needed help. The legend would endure. Of the day a mutant from another world made a god bleed, exposed corporate tyranny, and reminded everyone what true heroism looked like. Not manufactured in labs, not controlled by corporations. Just someone who stood up when it mattered, fought when others ran, and refused to quit no matter the cost. An unkillable symbol, a legend, a hero.